These are really tough numbers.
These numbers are devastating.
These job numbers are pathetic.
Why don't they pick up the bills and pass them and help the American people instead of playing politics over there?
Americans woke up this morning to some gut check news. The unemployment rate went up by 1/10 of a point. It's now 8.2%. The economy did add new jobs this past month, but it added less than half as many new jobs as economists were expecting it to. Feh. In terms of why this is happening, well, part of it is that government jobs, public sector jobs, continue to be the major drag on employment. Every time somebody talks about shrinking government because they care about jobs, what they mean is they're going to fire somebody who works for the government. So it means people lose their jobs. We lost 13,000 government jobs in May. The only reason we still added jobs overall is because of the private sector, private companies adding jobs, but not enough. But overall, take a look at the great Steve Bannon's famous job growth chart, formerly known as the bikini graph. And you can see that job growth is slowing down. Yesterday morning, Politico.com reports that the Republican House Speaker, John Boehner, held a closed-door meeting with the Republicans in the House. Politico quotes him as telling his caucus, quote, "Let's call bullpucky bullpucky. This election is about jobs, jobs, jobs." Only he didn't say bullpucky. He said a word that also begins with bull but only has 2 syllables, and it's one that I cannot repeat on basic cable. But he says jobs, jobs, jobs. Jobs are the agenda. Jobs are the only issue that matters. Jobs are all we are working on. Jobs is our only focus. So says John Boehner to House Republicans yesterday. You want to know what House Republicans actually did work on yesterday? Say it with me now. Abortion. Just a few hours after the big rousing jobs, jobs, jobs speech, Republicans headed down to the House floor to get to work on what they actually work on, which is yet another Republican anti-abortion bill. An anti-abortion bill they had put on an expedited legislative fast track to make sure they could bring it to the floor. Because of that expedited process, the bill needed a 2/3 majority to pass. That did not happen, so the bill failed. But don't let that make you think that Republicans are giving up their laser-like focus on jobs, by which I mean abortion. Ahead of yesterday's big anti-abortion vote, that bill's sponsor, Republican Congressman Trent Franks of Arizona, told the Hill newspaper that Republicans could maybe bring that bill up again later, under regular rules this time, so it would only need a simple majority to pass. In fact, he says yesterday's defeat of the big Trent Franks anti-abortion bill was all part of Republicans' master plan to keep the whole focus of the Congress on jobs, by which I mean abortion. As reported in the Washington Post, even before the vote yesterday, Congressman Franks conceded in an interview that his anti-abortion measure would probably fail. But he said, "I think we're doing the right thing strategically by forcing Democrats to vote against it." So we know it will fail, but we like making Democrats vote on abortion anyway. It just feels good. Also, it passes the time. Jobs, jobs, jobs. When Republicans took over the House, H.R. 3, as in H.R. number 3, as in right at the top of their policymaking agenda, was an anti-abortion bill. Last year, with Republicans newly in charge, the House held more votes on abortion bills than it had in a decade. This year, this election year, this jobs, jobs, jobs election year, Republicans have just introduced at least 5 more anti-abortion bills on top of what they did last year. So what is it that you were saying about bullpucky, Mr. Speaker?
Why don't they pick up the bills and pass them and help the American people instead of playing politics over there?
Yeah, why don't they? Jobs, jobs, jobs. Excellent point, sir.